Hello everyone. The words of Torah that I'm about to share should serve as a Refuah Sheleimah for Shira, Devorah Leah, for a member of our community who's in need of a refuah. May this be just one of the many avenues that are used to bring Shira or Refuah Sheleimah very, very soon. In this week's Parshas, in Parshas Mishpatim, we learn and read about a variety of halachos, a variety of laws that Jews are meant to fulfill, that Jews are meant to live by. And as Rashi points out at the very beginning of our Parsha, all of the halachos, all of the laws that are learned and described in Parshas Mishpatim were really given in last week's Parsha, in Parshas Yisro. I have a very, very simple question for you. We just left Mitzrayim. For years, Paro told us, do this, don't do this, live like this and act like that. And then finally we make our way after 210 years out of Egypt. We get to Har Sinai to receive the Torah. And now we get a whole another group of laws? Paro just told us what to do. Do this and don't do this. Now Hashem's telling us do this and don't do this. Lo sevashal gadi b'chalei. You can't cook milk and meat together. All of these halachos, all of these laws that are learned in Parshas Mishpatim. What did we accomplish? What did we gain by leaving Mitzrayim if now we have a new master, God? Now Hashem's telling us what to do, and now Hashem's telling us how to live. What did we accomplish by leaving Mitzrayim? So I think perhaps the answer lies in what it meant to be a slave in Egypt, in what it meant to be a slave in Mitzrayim. The Pasuk in Sefer Shemos describes our servitude, our avdus in Mitzrayim, as avodas parach, which is commonly translated as backbreaking work. Now the word parach appears in one other place in the Torah, and that's in Parshas Bahar, where the Torah is describing various halachos, various ideas, as it pertains to having a slave. In the olden days, Jews used to have slaves. And the pasuk in Parshas Bahar says, Lo sirda bo bifarech. That when you have a slave, don't give him work bifarech. What does bifarech mean? So Rashi teaches us in Parshas Bahar that you can't give your slave work that is meaningless, that is purposeless, that isn't necessary. Give him work, that is his job after all to work for you. But make sure the work that you give your servant is purposeful, is meaningful, is necessary. Says Rashi, don't have your slave heat up a hot cup of coffee for you if you don't actually want to drink the coffee, don't pour it out. Don't have your servant dig a ditch for you if you don't actually need a whole dog. Give your servant work, but make sure the work that you give him is purposeful, is meaningful, is necessary. Make sure there's a reason and a purpose behind the work that you give him. So when the Torah describes our avdus, our servitude in Egypt, as avodas parach, it's teaching us that being a slave in Mitzrayim was the most meaningless, purposeless existence that a person could possibly have. We worked so hard, the blood, the sweat, the tears, in building these big cities of Pitom and Ramses. And then what happened? The quicksand took hold and gone. All the hard work for naught. Being a servant in Egypt was meaningless. There was no rhyme or reason behind anything that we do or behind the lives that we led. But then Hashem brings us slowly but surely to Har Sinai, where He gives us the Torah, or we become servants to God. But Hashem's giving us and showing us and teaching us a fundamentally different type of servitude. Not a servitude of purposelessness, but a servitude of purposefulness. All of the halachos that we learn in Parshas Mishpatim aren't just random laws, but they're vehicles in which we can live a more meaningful, purposeful life. A life infused with a sense of holiness, with a sense of kedusha, with a sense of meaning. And that's what it means to transition from Mitzrayim to Parshios Yisro and Mishpatim. Purposelessness in Mitzrayim to get to Har Sinai to receive the Torah and to see what true servitude means, what it means to live a life of purpose, and what it means to live a life of meaning. And I can't think of two people who I know, two people in my life, who live lives of purpose, who live lives of meaning more than Joey and Shira Shatzkes. People who live their entire lives thinking to themselves, not only thinking, but doing. How can I do for others? How can I care for others? How can I make a difference in the lives of others? When they wake up in the morning, it's not about them, but it's about us. It's about the Jewish community, and it's about the world at large. Caring for others, thinking to themselves about how they can make a difference. And it's in that zechus, it's in that merit for all that they do, for the purposeful lives that they lead, that Shira should get better soon, and Amirza Hashem continue to live a life of purpose for many years to come. Good Shabbos.